Uh, Today is September 20, the schedule of pre-bid conference for civil works. Before we start, let us all stand for the prayer. Again, good morning. Welcome to DPWH Misamis to our back members. So at this moment point in time, I would like to request our back secretariat head to read attendance of this meeting.
Good morning, everyone. For today's pre-bid conference for civil works dated September 20, 2024, the presiding officer would be the back chairperson, Mr. Joseph N. Palima, the back end use representative, Engineer Pastor J. Banderas, and the back provisional member, Engineer Arnold Bernardos, and we are here also is the PDS representative, Engineer Francis Jerome Mira, and Architect Mark Amancio. And I'd like to acknowledge also the observers, Engineer John Davey Aribal, Mr. Virgil Lago, and Mr. Susante M. Pajarino, and yours truly, Engineer Cristel Arboez, sir.
Thank you, Cristel. In behalf of our back chairperson, I as the vice chairperson would preside over this pre-bid conference. And considering the bids and awards committee is in quorum, I call this meeting to order. So the flow would be a presentation from our personnel from PDS discussing the scope of work. Then we will present the eligibility and the financial component, the bids, and another scope to be discussed later. So I will give now the floor to PDS personnel, Engineer Francis Mira, to discuss the scope of work.
Good morning, personnel, as well as our visitors coming from SMOC, sir. Welcome to DPWH. Yeah. So, I'll be discussing to you the scope and some of the parameters included in the project. So, for this one is we have HFEP 2024, first Misamis Oriental General Hospital expansion and upgrading, 6-story with basement phase 1, Poblacion, Medina, Misamis Oriental. With the contract ID 24-00110. So, we're going to be conference. So for the appropriation for this project, it will be one of for the ABC minus the ER or the Engineering Administrative Development Cost. Hello. Yeah. So once again, ang appropriation is 130 million minus din siya sa Engineering Administrative and Overhead Cost. So ang nabili for ABC for approved budget cost is 129,350,000. And for the project duration, phase for the FMO is 280 calendar days. So for the construction, unfortunately, hindi siya makover ang total construction sa project. So, muna niya ang cover sa 130 million. So, scope of work, construction of structural components of Misamis Oriental General Hospital. Due to budgetary constraint, the scope is limited only to the following. Number 1 is installation of sheet tiles. I'll be showing to you later ang location of installation sheet tiles. Number 2 is excavation works. 3 is construction of footing, concrete pedestals, tie beams, and grade beams. 4, installation of polyethylene sheets. 5, construction of base floor and 400 mm slab on grade. 6 is installation of steel columns and beams, but excluding 9 out of 10 SB4 reflected in the ground floor framing plan. I'll be showing to you that as well in the later on in the presentation. Then for the letter G, last one after the scopes, is initial installation of conduits, boxes, and fittings for electrical works. Next, please. So this will be the site development plan. It will be located beside the existing building of first FMO. So, muna siya. At bang kilid na siya sa office ni Mayor for Medina. Next, please. So this is the perspective, one of the perspectives rendered by our architect, together with us as well, our architect, Dr. Manso. Next, please. So this is the foundation plan as well as the foundation plan of the footing pedestal. So for the construction of the building, it is actually divided into two. Number 1 is the foundation for the main building, and the second one is the foundation for the ramp. Kaya ramp all the way from the first floor, tulong dito sa top ng floor. So kapag siya lang ito na niya ang foundation. So for this project, instead na ilaras natin siya talaan sa building, amon siyang ilahos dito talaan sa foundation para along the way, hindi na mag-touch sa foundation as we go on to the next phases of the project. So muna ang foundation plan, muna sila, nakatayo ng foundation reflected and this is the foundation for the footing. Next, please. Ang group po namin is mga tie beam. Pina-reflect na rin, tie beam. Tapos, after sa footing ay tie beam. Next. So, next is grade beam. So, dito siya tie beam. Nabutay grade beam. Ang location na siya below the slab on grade. Dito sa ato ang main building. Dito na sa basement na siya nabit. And dito para sa floor, plan, para sa ground floor na hospital one, not with the grade beam. So, outside the tie beam, ibaba sa tie beam is grade beam. Next, please. So, this is the layout for the sheet tile. So, as we have discussed previously, we installed sheet tiles to help with the lateral forces that we are encountering sa location. So, ang location is this one, the entire perimeter for the main building. So, muna siya nga, medyo daghan gatong sheet tiles, kay 12 meters ang atong gi-embed dito and entire na for the main building. Pero ako ang dapit sa ang existing building, kato ang main building ato ang secure since naman ay this magpaprotektahan sa lateral forces and pressure. Next, please. So, ang po ni is the detail for the basement. So for the basement, Lahat ay base wall, including sa kilid, na base wall, and ang iyahang slab is 400 mm ang slab, and reinforced both ways. So, kung medyo naging yung reinforcement mo tingnan mo dito sa ato ang nakita niyo dito is the core or the core ang value para sa ato ang grade 60 nga reinforcement value because kanya ato mga kan is both ways ang reinforcement. Next, please. So, muli siya ang framing sa ground floor framing plan. So, included ang steel columns and ang framing sa beam. But we did not include kaniyang sa mga SB4. Manong SB4, nasa 10 ka SB4, nasa tunga, but we only include 1 out of the 10. So, in all the framings included reflected here in front in the screen are included except for 9 out of 10 ng SB4, manang sa tunga. So, since naman natin mga framing din sa gilid, mga beams, ang natuwa lang wala na mag-appeal, at least na lang naka-secure ang ato ang building, dili siya mag-appeal. Next, please. So for the equipment requirement, so these are the list of equipment needed for this phase. Number 1 is backhoe, 80 cubic, 0.80 cubic meters. Number is 1, dump truck, 12 cubic yard, diba? Tray compactor, 5 HP, 1 bagger mixer, concrete vibrator, welding machine, top-mounted crane for the lifting of the steel, bar cutter, bar bender, cutting outfit, jackhammer, and cargo service truck for the delivery of the steel. Next, please. So I'll be showing to you the breakdown of the items included in this program. Number 1 is provincial field office for engineers, rental basis, permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization, geotechnical investigation, general scaffolding and shoring and netting, removal of structures and obstruction, structure excavation common soil, embankment from railway or structure excavation common soil. So medyo nagko sa lang kita ang value din because as you can see nagko kayo ato ang excavation because ang ato ang mag-count mo para sa basement and kato ang mga volume nato is ato siyang giakan. Next is embankment from gravel fill. Embankment from borrow, common soil, gravel fill, dam proofing of the train sheets for the securing sa ato ang frame. Next please. Structural concrete, 3,000 PSI, class A 28 days, as well as 4,000 PSI. So, reinforcing steel, grade 60, so muna kung ibasabot kayo niya, is 344,704.54 kilograms. So, daghan di kayo siya. And for the grade 40 is only 17,957.82 kilograms because ating categorization for grade 40 is for 10 mm below. So ato na siya, gamit na siya for the syrups. Next is formworks and falseworks, waterproofing, cement base, seismic base isolator, and lead rubber bearing for the earthquake resistance mitigation. Metal structure accessories, bolts and rods, steel structure accessories, steel plates, structural steel furnace grade 36, structural steel erected grade 36, structural steel sheet piles furnished, structural steel sheet piles not driven, conduit boxes and fittings, and lastly will be the plumbing fixtures. Next please. So what would be all for all the items included? So if there are questions both on live as well as on site, we can actually cater them. So if you have questions.
Out of the 6th floor, sarataman ang one.
Sir, out of the 6th floor, including the basement, ang tama lang is done is framing sa ground floor. Kapag sa basement a bit, na steel na basement, padulong sa framing sa ground floor. Well, the rest is wala pa. So more or less for this project for phase 1, it's all on structural part of the building, foundation particularly.
Nanay walls ba?
Wala pang wall, sir. Ang nakang-wall sa atin dani is for base wall lang siya. Dito sa,
Sa
yeah,
basement lang.
sa basement lang, sir.
Ang ground floor wala pa.
Ang ground floor is, depende sa pagpunta sa ground floor, sir. Ang ground floor is above sa basement. Yes, sir. Wala pa, sir. Wala pa, sir. Ang above sa basement, sa ang ground floor, wala pa. So, basically, sa basement, ground floor na framing, was, ito ang scope. Kung sir, 40 by 20 ang area for the building. 40 by 20, excluding sir ang kato ang sarap, yung putong sarap nga area. Kaya ang sarap is irregular ang shape niya. Di kayo kag-give sir mo sir unless pagka na ko sa plan.
Wala demolition ng
Dahil demolition sir, including sa removal of structure sir. Yes, nasa removal nga item.
so government property ang demolish.
Private property, private individual sir. And I think na negotiate na together with engineer legal so that's sa demolition as well as location atong nag-appeal dito sa site sir. Wag na sa nila.
Sa private, sa government na property buildings.
Private building sir.
Wala government.
Wala government sir na. Wala.
From our in-user na may pamatang.
Yes sir. Included ang technical investigation. So bali muli ang
excuse me, sir. Regarding katong first discussion na to is, tama naman to sa still leaking, no?
kato first sa discussion ito sir is still working. Unfortunately, there is a new listing for the updated list for ang children sa kuwan. Tawag na? Labor cost. So there is a new list sa labor cost. Unfortunately, nitaas ang labor cost. So we have to compensate sa labor cost because dili na siya non-negotiable magidan siya na out. So we have to compensate as well as the workforce. So we have to reduce the scope from the last nga ito na-discuss. So therefore, kapag ang before nag-say that ato siyang i-reduce, kaya natay bago nga labor cost plus natay bago nga listing sa new list of material cost. So unfortunately, ang last nga first quarter nga costing for example, for grade 60. So grade 60 last nga approved na CMPD from the division is 80 pesos per kilogram. Unfortunately, karon for the second quarter is 105 na siya. So after pakita pwede natin mo gamay nun. And dito sa kataan may mga items. So for the next please. For the for grade 60, as you can see, grade 60 is 344.74. So in order to compensate the added nga cost, so we have to remove some of the scope nga declared as before. For the kape sir, hindi man.
Pwede may bangka mga tapya na, unsa na nga accelerate na karon gamit sir? Ang accelerate na.
Wala sir, pwede kahapon ni sa inyo sir. As well as kato ang itong makahatag mo sa inyo nga copy.
Good morning everyone. That is after taking into consideration sa katong EO sir, no? Yung moto ang mas nakakuha.
So after the EO we incorporated in the program is 0.5%.
Yes.
So that's 650,000 dali nga cost.
And then, sir, may I know, sir, if siguro if possible, kung makahatag mo, sir, o estimate lang as to
timing of katubitong sa if possible lang siya sa katong timing bitaw sa inyong kano sa among mag-need o katubitong per since naka per tranche mga atong funding, so basin pwede may makakuan kaya at least man lang dapat may kuan sa among mag-cap ng good misang bed 3. So we could include that part sa timing po sa among pag-request sa cash if possible. I see. You're referring to the tranches nga
Yes,
sa
sir.
water, the first tranche, 20%,
Yes,
50%, and the 100%. So when it comes to that one, sir, is actually based on the, that depends on the, when will the project, start. So, dili kami hapag ka as of the moment, but most probably, dili ko ka-sure, by next, siguro, by confirmation siguro sa atong pag-share, so para sa ato siya mag-beat out, after siguro mga 1 to 2 months, makapangayon ni sa first tranche. Kaya kailangan na mo bayaran ang service billing sa contractor. So after 2 months, sir? More or less, or 1 month, sir. Dito ko kahapon, sir. So 1 to 2 months, need na ninyo ang atong first tranche? Yes, that's definitely, sir. Actually, muna akong mas good kayo para at least dili pod sa among side, dili kayo may maka-hassle pod sa inyo nga madugay pod ni pag. Actually, since our cash is na siya limit as to validity since every quarter mula siya. So munang I am really pod since collapse na ang karon nga quarter, so I am worried pod nga sa party na ko ma-provide ang 20% since kanang malagi pa close na. So if possible by next quarter na lang. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Last regarding sa iyaw, sir, na-including po sa mo gana nga katong sa iyaw.
Sa iyaw, sir, ang aspirin sanction is ang gi-include is 5%.
0.5.
0.5%. Yes, sir. 0.5, mali ko. 0.5%, hindi siya 5%. Any other concerns, sir? Sir?
From YouTube viewers, any question? None? So, thank you, Franz. So we'll proceed for the eligibility and for the bidders to please show in the monitor the eligibility and financial requirements.
Requirements or infrastructure projects. The submission and receipt of needs. First, technical component handling. Class A, legal documents. Letter A, audit, projects registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages in accordance with section 8.5.2 of the IRR. Project certificate of registration and membership. All bidders shall approve and maintain intelligence account and agreement file of the following Class A eligibility documents under the sections 23.1 under A and 24.1 under A. 1. Registration certificate. 2. Mayor's business permit for its equivalent document. 3. Tax payments. 4. Pickup license and registration. And number 5. Audited financial statement. Section 8.5.2 of the IRR. For the purpose of updating the certificate of registration and numbering, all Class A eligibility documents mentioned in this section supporting the veracity, authenticity, and validity of the certificate shall remain current and updated. The failure of the prospective bidder to update its certificate
with the current and updated Class A eligibility documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the validity of its certificate until such time that all of its expired Class A eligibility documents has been updated. For the technical documents, letter D, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Letter C, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. Letter D, special pick-up license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and the cost of the contract to be bid. Letter E, original copy of bid security, if in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or original copy of notarized bid security declaration. For the single largest completed contract, the SLCC completed should be similar to the contract to be bid or has the same major categories of work. The SLCC's value should be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid upon adjustment to current prices using the PSA Consumer Price Indices. Contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience on the contract may participate if the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the allowable range of contract costs of their registration. For the bid security purpose, to guarantee that the successful bidder shall, within 10 calendar days from receipt of the notice of award, enter into contract with the PE and furnish the performance security required. Form of bid security. Letter A, cash or cashier's manager's check. The amount is 2% of ABC, not guaranteed draft, or a revocable letter of credit issued by a universal or commercial bank. The amount is 2% of ABC. Letter C, surety bond callable upon demand, accompanied with certification from Insurance Commission. The amount is 5% of ABC. Letter E, bid securement declaration. No percentage required. Only one form of bid security is required to be submitted. Bidders have the option to choose their preferred form of bid security. Letter F, project requirements, which should include the following. A, organizational chart for the contract to be bid. B, list of contractors' key personnel. Example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. List of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for duration of the project as the case may be. The contractor's key personnel. The key personnel should meet the following number of years work experience. The experience means total years of civil works experience of any nature in construction and engineering consultancy service. Include the tax identification number of the key personnel, compliance to Department Order 98 Series of 2016, revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors and consultants material engineering, compliance to Department Order 98 Series of 2016, revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors, consultants, materials engineer, and to include the contact number of the materials engineer. If the proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that 1. The personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and number 2, he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office pursuant to Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. The proposed key personnel and replacement must be named in the bidding document. The contractor's major equipment units. The contractor is required to provide proofs of ownership and other supporting documents for equipment owned, lease agreements for equipment to be leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported the certificate of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the projects. Proofs of ownership and other supporting documents for equipment pledged must specify and indicate the model, year, capacity, performance, size, plate number, motor number, body number, chassis serial number, engine serial number, specific location and condition for Department Order 58 series of 2012. Contractors minimum materials testing equipment. Please refer to Department Order 11 series of 2017 for the minimum material testing equipment. DPWH Procurement Manual Volume 2 Infrastructure Main Guidelines specifically requires the submission of the materials testing equipment as stated in clause 5.6.2.8. Technical proposal and clause 5.6.2.8.4.c. Project performance using form DPWH-INFR-15. List of contractors, major construction and laboratory equipment units to be assigned to the contract supported by certifications of availability. Letter G. The regional duly signed omnibus sworn statement and if applicable, a regional notarized secretary's certificate in case of appropriation, partnership, or cooperative, or a regional special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and new acts to represent the bidder. For the financial documents, letter H, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity. Class B, letter I, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with Republic Act number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence. For the duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide with the provisions of the GBA in the instant that the bid is successful. For the financial component envelope, the original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and other documentary formats under Republic Act number 9184. The original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities, duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with a bid. Cash flow by quarter. For the detailed estimates, accordance to Department Order 197 series of 2016, the following items shall be subjected to OCN and profit markup. 1. Mobilization and demobilization. 2. Provision of service vehicle. And 3. Permits and clearances. Accordance to Department Order 197 series of 2016, the following non-civil works items shall not be subjected to OCN markup. Field, laboratory office, and living quarters with rental basis. Furnishing of furniture. Laboratory equipment. Survey equipment and consumables. Assistance to the engineers. Photographs. Health and safety. Traffic management. Environmental compliance. Communication equipment, etc. For the submission and receipt of bids, bid submission may be done manually or electronically online. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. The address for receipt of bids submitted manually is back conference room, 3rd floor, DPWH Misamis Barangay 26, Hingaog City, Misamis Oriental. For electronic submission, electronic bids _ Misamis Oriental 1 at dpwh.gov.ph. For the bid evaluation, the financial component of bids of each past bidder shall be evaluated using non-discretionary criteria, including arithmetical corrections for computational errors, and thus determine the correct total calculated bid process. The bank shall automatically disqualify a total calculated bid price which exceeds the ABC. The following factors are to be considered in the evaluation of the bid price. Completeness. No price in required item non-compliant, indicating a zero or a dash free to the GOP. All prices are deemed to include all taxes. Bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, BOQ, shall be considered non-responsive. Arithmetical corrections. Bid prices and figures versus worth. Words prevail. Total price versus unit price per item. Unit price per item prevails. Total price versus actual sum of component items. Actual sum prevails. Unit cost in detailed estimate versus unit cost in BOQ. BOQ prevails. For the both qualification, verification of legal requirements, licenses, certificates, permits, non-inclusion in blacklist, technical requirements, key personnel, minimum work experience requirements should be satisfied. Availability and commitments of major construction equipment and materials laboratory equipment. Performance in ongoing government and private contracts. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any project or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works and ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works and contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them with 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures. Technical requirements. Substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of its inspection. Financial requirements, bid price proposal, NFCC. For the contract award, the contract shall be awarded to the bidder whose bid has been determined to be the lowest calculated and responsive bid as a result of a detailed evaluation and post-qualification conducted. The successful bidder shall be notified through the issuance of notice of award within the bid validity period and must be confirmed with a successful bidder in writing within 10 days upon receipt thereof in accordance with section 37.2.2 of the 2016 revised RRR of the Republic Act 9184. The common reasons in the failure of submission of bids. Failure to submit a original copy of the surety bond certified by the Insurance Commission indicating the name of project, the procuring entity, and name of contractor. Shorter bid validity and bid security validity period. Overlapping of pledged equipment and committed key technical personnel. Failure to indicate the validity of bid in the bid form. Late submission of bids. Failure to submit supporting documents. Example, certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project. If equipment pledge is released or chased. Negative slippage in the ongoing projects, negative 15% or more, or negative 10% in each of the 2 or more ongoing projects. Unsatisfactory CPEs with common errors in the submission of bids. Incomplete pages of bid documents, technical and financial. Authority of the signatory to sign on behalf of the bidder. Single proprietor, signatory should be the owner, proprietor only. Corporation, cooperative, board secretary's certificate, and board resolution. Joint venture resolution agreement. Partnership, as indicated in the articles of partnership. That's all, thank you. Conference for infrastructure works, lease, and consulting services as per Department Order number 17 series of 2015. Three strike 69.1. In addition to the provisions of rules 21 and 22 of this IRR, the whole, subject to the authority delegated to the BAC, if any, shall impose on bidders or prospective bidders The administrative penalty of suspension for 1 year for the first offense and suspension of 2 years for the second offense from participating in the competitive bidding process, as well as disqualification from further participating in the competitive bidding being undertaken with the procuring entity concerned, were applicable for the following violations. All other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, such as habitually withdrawing from bidding, submitting late bids, or patently insufficient bid for at least 3 times within a year, except for valid reasons. Types violation: 1. A bidder that had purchased bidding documents but subsequently withdrawn from the bidding or submitted a letter of non-participation or did not submit the bid without a valid cause as determined by the Bids and Awards Committee concerned. A bidder submitting insufficient, defective documents such as insufficient bid securities and other deficiencies. A bidder submitting a late bid without a valid cause as determined by the BAC concerned. Other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of public bidding as determined by the concerned BAC, provided that these acts have been indicated or discussed in the instructions to bidders, bid bulletins, notices, minutes of pre-bid conference, or other similar instruments. Tax violations. A bidder that had purchased bidding documents but subsequently withdrawn from the bidding or submitted a letter of non-participation or did not submit the bid without a valid cause as determined by the Bids and Awards Committee concerned. Valid reasons. Upon computation, its price bid was determined to be above the ABC, or goods to be supplied are no longer available in the market. A bidder submitting a late bid without a valid cause as determined by the BAC concerned. Valid reason: due to force majeure and quarantine restrictions. A bidder submitting insufficient defective documents such as insufficient bid securities. Number 1, bid security not in the name of the bidder. Number 2, insufficient amount and validity period. Number 3, not issued in the name of the procuring entity. Submission of not valid filters. The failure of the prospective bidder to submit its filtered certificate with a guaranteed dated Class A eligibility documents, example, legal and financial documents. Valid reason not accepted. Failure to submit mandatory forms. The schedule, bid form, notarized bid securing declaration, notarized omnibus sworn statement, other required forms from the bid security aside from the bid securing declaration, stating that the bidder of its ongoing for government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. Statement of the bidders LLC similar to the contract to be bid. Owner's certificate of acceptance or CPE's rating accompanying the statement of the bidders computation of NFCC or committed line of credit or goods, notarized joint venture agreement, or notarized statements as to forming GD for goods, certification as to reciprocity to foreign bidders for goods, special pickup license for joint venture for infrastructure, DUPA and cash flow for infrastructure. Valid reasons not acceptable. For CSD, failure to submit any of the following: certificate of employment, contract agreement, curriculum material. Valid reasons not accepted. Submission of the following required forms as indicated in the 6th edition of the Philippine bidding documents without the name, legal aspect, and signature of the bidder authorized to represent me. Number 1, bid form. Number 2, price schedules. Number 3, bid securing declaration. Number 4, omnibus sworn statement. And number 5, GBA. Valid reasons not acceptable. Nomination of key personnel of different profession as per requirement of the bidding document. Valid reason not applicable. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, purchase agreement of pledge equipment. Valid reason not applicable. Failure to submit certification of key personnel reporting order 9 series 2012. Valid reason not applicable. Failure to comply with the required number of key personnel and equipment. Valid reason not applicable. participating in the bidding but not related business type as indicated in the mayor's permit for goods, valid reasons, not applicable.
Before we start for the procurement activities, I would like to acknowledge Ms. Lovely Theories Beha for the procurement officer of FMOG. For the procurement activities, the issuance and the bidding and downloading of bidding documents will be from the start of the bid advertisement until October 2, 2024, 10 a.m. The receipt of the bids and the dropping of the bidding documents, October 2, 2024, until 10 a.m. And the opening of bids will be after the receipt of the bids, we'll simultaneously open the bids at 10 a.m. also. The category of works will be buildings, construction without tiles, low rise, steel, and 1 to 5 story. These are the contractor's key personnel. The project manager will be only one. The project engineer is also one. Materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer with a total of five number of personnel. These are also the guidelines of the price adjustment and payment for projects with non-compliance with the prescribed IRR value. And for the technical and financial documents, these are the examples. And the bids and supporting documents should be hard and properly bound. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Christine. Any changes, bidding documents, it will be posted on DPWH website and pages. So any question before we end this pre-bid conference? From our YouTube viewers, none. So since there's no question, any move for the adjournment of this pre-bid conference?
Mr. Chair, since there's no more query and concern raised, I move to adjourn this public conference on civil works dated September 20, 2024.
As candid, Mr. Chair.
It has been moved for the adjournment of this pre-bid conference duly seconded. I now declare this pre-bid conference for civil works September 20, 2024 adjourned. Thank you for coming from our guests from IPMOG. Thank you from our BAC members, BAC Secretariat, and from our PDS personnel. Thank you very much. And to our YouTube viewers, thank you for watching. And again, good.